Look into some of the observations of the OTAs, and first and foremost, one of my dark horses, Keelan Carson's. You guys know DB World is always DB World, and he's going to have a big role for this offseason to really pick up the system and everything, because you got to understand, Stephon Gilmore, he may not be here, right? The Cowboys may not re-sign him. So you got Trayvon Diggs, Deron Bland, and of course you got an older Jordan Lewis. So what about Keelan Carson? Can he stand tall? And he will be the guy that everybody will be taking a real good look at, and especially Coach love him. You know, Al Harris, he's one of those guys that's been working with him, and they call him seatbelt. So hopefully it will be a situation and scenario that he have a uptick faster than what we've seen out of Eric Scott. And let's not sleep on Eric Scott, but it seems as if though Carson's may be a pet cat of the assistant defensive coach right here. That is Al Harris, right? The assistant head coach, I meant to say. So when we look at Demarcus Lawrence, this is a contract year for him, right? And hey, some players ball out in their contract years, and it's been evidence, man, when this dude playing for a contract, all of a sudden crazy stat lines for your mind come around. Nevertheless, he is a veteran leader of this team, and he will be a guy to pay real close attention to, because now you have strategy, system, and scheme put into place, especially from Greg Ellis and then Coach Z, and as well as Paul Gunter. I think that now you have more knowledge in the building that can help these guys out, and we will see, or we should see, an uptick of his game. And shout out to D-Law, man, showing the rookies the ropes here, and the youth the ropes here. And D-Law's D-Law. I think that he's very underrated, and he's going to have one hell of a year heading into this season. And the other guy, Sam Williams, I'm telling you guys right now, if he can get everything going and he can get there and be on the field, he could be a double-digit sack guy. And high hopes for him. Shout out and salute to Sam Williams. I think that with Coach Z, he look like he can play. When you look at everything, it looks like he can play. And no offense to Aiden Durde, the previous D-line coach. Come on, man. We know this dude is going to teach, and he's going to be able to get these boys going in the right direction. Not saying that Aiden Durde was not able to do those things, but it's just something about having a former player coaching you and getting you ready as far as the mindset for this game. All of that soft stuff, you can toss it away. Now, this is my guy, Wanye. I call him the humble beast because he's very humble. You know, he don't talk much about himself, but man, let me do some cheerleading for him. I think that he should be a guy that fight hard for a role on his team. He should get more snaps at it. And this should be a situation and scenario that we see more of number 30. I think that he can play him anywhere on top of the roof. You can play him down inside the box. You can put him anywhere on that field. He got range. He got good speed. He got good vision. Hopefully we can see more and more from him as relates to playing time. And he's one of my dark horses out of the mix, him, and as well as Carson's, as you can see here. Both of those boys, I love the way they fly and attack to the ball, right? And it's all about securing that thing and making sure that you can make impactful plays. And on top of that, with D-Law, once again, hey, continue to add and pour upon the veteran information for the team. You can clearly see that this man looked like he can still play. Yes, indeed. He looked like he can still play. Look at the calves, man. Look at the calves, man. And he looked like in the pinch, if the Cowboys, we are razor blade thin at D-line, especially at that one tech. Maybe, you know, hey, coach, you still got that itch, you know, to play. And it seems as if, though, these boys are going to get proper training. Technique going to be really, really leveled here. I can't wait to see how this all works out. This will be an exciting training camp, as well as I'm hearing that Trey Lance is taking more of a command. listening in to Mike McCarthy, he was talking more about installments, right? And the first few weeks or what have you, they doing a lot of install. And they said that Trey Lance is ahead of schedule as far as his information. Of course, this is going into his second year with Mike McCarthy, so things should be even more fluid. On top of that, we should see more and more play from him during the preseason because we were not able to see him play in preseason last season due to the fact that he was signed late. So we will see this dude Trigger Trey out there. Keep this in mind. I'm going to say this right now. He have one of the strongest arms on this team. Maybe he got the strongest arm on this team. He got an arm, y'all. For real. He can get that ball there. And Royce said with me, Freeman. Yeah, he's a power back. He's a guy that I know for sure on short yardages, you're going to have to make a business decision to get him down. And keep this in mind. You got him with Zeke. Shoot, it's time to make that box soft. Keep pounding, and you will get rewarded from these boys just drilling it down inside. I like the fact that these guys, instead of just having nails, we got absolute hammers now. So that's going to be a good deal for us. You know, being able to have someone that can push the pile and move the pile, and you see it right here, Ezekiel Elliott. Both of those guys, you got two hammers here. We can't wait to see how this will all work. Here's my only reservations. You will not be able to see anything until at least preseason. Here's my other side of the equation. Running back got treads on him, right? I don't want to see Zeke in preseason. I don't need to see Royce Freeman in preseason. That's the only thing. So with that being said, now we got two guys that's wearing 14 right now. One is Cam Johnson and the other is Marquise Bell. Here is a picture of Marquise Bell. I think that he will be more of your other safety now. He would not be playing anybody's linebacker role here. So this will be a good fight to see. Marquise Bell, Wanye, we got Juju Woods. We got a lot of competition. Dono, Wilson, we got a lot of competition in the safety room. Malik Hooker. The list goes on, and I love it. Izzy McCramu, do he play safety or do you kick him back at the defensive back far as quarterback? So it's a lot of competition in that room. I don't like it. I love it. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's go. That's what we want. We want the competition. The wide receiver room. This will be a very intriguing room because since we didn't do a lot in free agency and since we didn't really dance around a lot with things as it relates to bringing in other talent as far as wide receiver, meaning that this particular staff love the wide receivers. These boys got to step up. They do. And you're looking at a guy that put one on his chest, Jalen Tolbert. They've been talking glowingly about him, right? So now we need to see whether or not this will be transferable, right? And hey, we see Brandon Cooks. We got to have someone to stand tall from this room, and we will see how all of this works. This other guy right here, pay attention to him. His name is David Durden. He's a guy that tore his ACL last year, and before that time frame, we were seeing good things. We were hearing good things from him in training camp. Hopefully, he can, pick up that pace and pick up that speed of where he left out. Crooms, this dude is fast, y'all. This is right here for the future right here, ladies and gentlemen. Coach Mike McCarthy and my guy Mike Zim, both of those boys, they're going to have to really stand tall or not at all. That's been my phrase all this offseason, stand tall or not at all. And both of these guys, they don't have a contract for 2025. Everything is predicated upon what they do this season if they can continue to work for the Dallas Cowboys, believe it or not, like Ripley's. And of course, that's Juju. Yeah, he's wearing 33. It's a big responsibility to wear that 33, Juju Woods. And we will see. He's a heavy hitter. He got good range to his game. We will see. Like I said, this safety room, oh my goodness, is a large room of heavy competition. They say cream rise to the top, so we'll see. And Dono, he's getting ready for it. I think he's going to stand tall with it. And, of course, my guy that a lot of people need to pay attention to, number 57, Buddy Johnson. I think that he brings good size as linebacker to the table. Keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. Last year, the Cowboys didn't know what to do with linebackers. This year, the Cowboys will know what to do with linebackers. So pay attention to 57. He will be a guy that we should be saying to ourselves, hey, man, that 57 came through there and scraped up everything, man, in a good way, in a positive way. Can't wait to see him. Now, this my guy, Tyron Billy Johnson. Pay attention to him. He's rocking 13. That number previously was worn by my guy, MG13, right? Michael Gallup, for those who don't know. Well, there's a new sheriff in town, and his name is Billy Johnson, or Tyron Billy Johnson. And he's fast, he's elusive, and you should see him making some deep plays down in training camp. And pay attention to him. Just pay attention. That's all I'm going to say with that. And of course, Overshawn's wearing 13 on the defensive side. It's always perfect to have a veteran linebacker that can teach the youth. This is the easiest cheat code that you can ever think of. And my guy, Damone Clark, if he can just squeeze all of the information out of my guy, number 50, Eric Kendricks, then that will work, and hopefully that will be a situation and scenario that he's showing these boys the ropes and he can get these things going for us for the 2024 season. I love seeing them two paired up together. And of course, hey, the same thing far as Jalen Tolbert. He needs to get all of the great information from Dak Prescott as well, and they got to be on the same page regardless of the situation. On top of that, we know that not having a veteran linebacker in the mix was devastating last year. Well, we don't have that problem for this season at all. We got the veteran linebackers in the crew. All right, so these three right here, of course, we missing C.D. Lamb. Nevertheless, if Cooks can stand up and do his job for this 2024 season, and if my guy Jalen Tolbert can get into the mix, I know he looks sharp, but looking sharp is one thing. But if he can play on that field and do some things out there, then this will work out for us. These two right here. And of course, this spot right here, this little voided spot right here, that's where CD Lamb would have been at, right? But that's a whole nother conversation. Let's go. And Dak, get it right. These two leaders right here, Prescott and Lance, come on. And Cooper. Don't leave out Cooper Rush. Come on, cameraman. Put Cooper Rush in some of these pictures, man. Shout out to Cooper Rush, man. Beer gang all day. That's my guy. Hey, Tyron, like I said, that dude is fast, man. He's quick. And you're going to see it, man. I hope, man, the NFL, if they were really cool, the NFL was really cool, they will allow these players to play with those shields, man. But the NFL, they like to regulate everything. And especially you got to get all type of request and medical clearance just to have the shield out there on the field. I remember Dez Bryant, he was going off one game. Then they tapped him on the shoulder and said, hey, Dez, you got to take that visor off. You got to put a clear shield on. You was not approved to wear the cool shaded one, But neither here nor there. Man, it would be dope if the NFL just lighten up and let these boys wear these shields, man. It would be so dope to see these different variations of shields and everything. And it would look good. It would flat out look good. Tight end room gonna be it, Big boy room. We this the room right here. When I say big boy room, the one text, we're really not talking too much about three texts. We okay with that. This room right here is still the area of the unknown. It's still the area of we just don't know. It's still the area of can we just get a good break? Come on, Cowboys. Get off of you-know-what and just go bring in another veteran so that we can have this conversation. Think about it. We got a veteran in the safety room, Hooker. We got a veteran in the DB room, which is, Trayvon Diggs. We really don't need another veteran there, but we still asking for one. But we got a veteran in the linebacker room. We got a veteran on the edge room, right? We just don't have a veteran defensive interior tackle guy, right? Veteran in every department but defensive tackle. That's what I'm trying to say. So, man, hopefully coach can get these guys going. This is Miris Lafu. I hope that he can just get all of the information from Eric Kendricks. That's all we can hope for, ladies and gentlemen. That's all we can hope for. That dude right there is Eric Kendricks. So hopefully they can learn and get everything going. And my guy Trey Day, Trigger Trey, and then you have Dak to Royce Freeman, the hammer that we talking about. And look, when the pound gang action get going, I'm talking about runs that needed for maybe a 1 yard, 2 yards, possible 3. This should be no problem this year. You got that now. Play action games should be back on the shelf. Terrence Steele had a real slow season last year. Didn't really pick it up until like week 7, week 8-ish, around the back part of the season. And he was recovering. Well, news flash. We not sitting back waiting for you to pick it up now. You need to be on your P's and Q's and get things going. And hey, I'm looking for him to improve from what he did last season. Because if you look back at a few games, hey, we were saying to ourselves, how much money? How much money did Terrence Steele got again? So hopefully he'll stand tall, y'all. And look, I love seeing laughter. That means these guys are having fun out there. Oh, okay. Now we switched over to Jordan Lewis. Hip pocket, right? I had to do an apology video last season because he started off slow now. Don't get it twisted. Now, shout out to my guy, Corrier Media. He did a nice film assessment of Jordan Lewis, and I think Jordan Lewis made an impactful play in one of the games last season. It could have been against Detroit. But what I can tell you is that Jordan Lewis, he's always that wild card, right? He's the one that everybody say, hey, get rid of, and then all of a sudden he stand tall, right? And all I can think of Jordan Lewis is his mindset. He will go up against the biggest, baddest dog out there. Who remember? Dez, when he called out Dez. So Jordan Lewis always gonna be that dude that's willing to fight, even if he don't have all of the cards, right? He's gonna try to fight and bring forth his best. At the end of the day, Cowboy Nation, we still looking for a dog that can be put inside that slot, and he gotta have to fight for his spot if you want to keep it. Hey, some will say, hey, put Coach in there, man. Let's put Coach in there. He look like he can still play. And this would be the grand multiplier. Coach right here. He's thrusted it into a new role as he is your assistant head coach. And he looks like he can still play, right? And we shall see whether or not he can get things moving and grooving for this defense. All eyes will be on Al Harris. I can't wait to see how things will work. And at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the globe, Cowboy Nation, if we can just work this defense thing out, stop the run, everything will work its way out for the 2024 season. And on top of that, if we can run the ball. Those are my two things that I wanted. Can we stop the run and can we run the ball? When it's time for us to get 3 yards, can we find a way to get 4, right? When it's time for us to stop a guy on short yardages, can we get that sack, or can we stop that run? Can we get a tackle for loss? Hopefully we can fix those things out. Post me your thoughts, post me your concerns. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. I know I've been gone for a minute, but hey, I'm revitalized now. I'm re-energized. Let's get it. DC for life, not for short. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys. Let's get it.